So, it is now. So I'm just trying to get comfy.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, that's better.
There you go. That's all right.
We're in.
So it is. It's 2024.
Yes,
We.
we did it.
How was your 2023?
Actually, do you know what? It was better than 2020, and it was probably better than 2021,
Uh huh.
and it was definitely better than 23. So 22. So I think actually 23 might be the best year I've had in about 3 years.
It was eventful. It was an eventful year for you.
It was. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I suppose it was. Yeah. Yeah.
It's you because I want to ask you about this.
Go on.
You got called out this year.
Did I?
Yeah, Russell Brand
Oh yeah.
called you out on a podcast.
He did actually. Yeah. There's an
Which is
actual. I'm actually quoted on
crazy.
his podcast. That's my claim to fame.
This is mental. Unfortunately, not by name.
Not by name, I think, because he never asked it, and even if I gave it to him, he probably wouldn't remember it. Thankfully, I remembered his name.
So it's a good.
Not that it needed to,
So just
introduce himself.
just to set the scene of the story you told me, because
Well-
I've got the clip.
Yeah,
You worked on Midsummer Murders.
I did
this year.
Yeah,
Or last year.
yeah, I did.
You worked on Midsummer Murders.
It's still around. If you want to watch it, it's still around. And I've heard the next season is going to be really good. And do you know why? Because I worked on it.
And you were the third AD.
Yeah, I was the third year, and then it was basically locations. So on this occasion, I was locations, and then I was sort of upgraded temporarily in that space.
So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
what are the responsibilities of a third AD?
It depends on the project. On this instance, third AD was essentially working after talent.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I had an earpiece, and I was just basically that kind of like. And actually, the earpiece is great because you feel like James Bond
yeah.
because it's the proper coily, agent in the Havanas or wherever you are.
Eyes on the eagle snake.
Eyes on the target. And it was a bit like that because basically you're looking after talent. So the director says, you have the location where you're shooting, and you have the base and where they're held up, basically. And it might be in this occasion it was close enough where it'd be like location base, but it might be a hotel, it might be a pub, it could be anywhere around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to radio them in to make sure that they're ready, prepped, makeup, mic,
Mhm.
all ready to go.
An important role.
It is because actually if you get that wrong, you really fuck up the whole. You stall the progress of the
show
shoot,
Gets cancelled.
and everyone, and you get shot. No, but you do get in trouble because of course if the talent isn't ready for the ready of the shoot,
Mhm.
everyone else is up. You're literally tapping your foot, waiting. That is time wasted. It's money wasted, and you're going to get wasted.
So you
GTA style,
So you got to make sure everything runs
smoothly. Yes,
And that
and
also
then,
includes when the cameras start rolling as well, right?
Oh, 100%. Because what happens is when you're shooting, then it would kind of bleed into different roles. But basically, you want to have a well-maintained set. So, if there's someone talking, if there's a loud noise, you just want to make sure that everyone's aware that we're shooting, and so you have to call out between each take,
Mm-hmm.
speed, rolling, sound, go.
So-
But the reason for that is you're not always near where you want to travel the sound that we're shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Is the point. Now we were shooting in I don't know if I want to give away where he lives, but he lives in a very nice part in the country, right? It's a nice kind of very
Oh, of course, 'cause
countryside place.
This was just a few doors down from where he lived.
So we
wasn't
were
it?
literally, it was his house, the random house, where we're shooting.
Uh-huh.
So you could throw a stone, to use that phrase very accurately.
Uh-huh.
But the point was, it was a very kind of Berkshire, Cotswold, not giving it too obvious where he
Mhm.
kind of lives, and we were basically at the tail end of the River Thames.
Uh-huh.
So the back garden to the place we were shooting led onto the Thames. It was the very tail end of it where it becomes nice,
Yeah.
not when it's in its sort of grotty middle city state.
Still bodies floating down.
Yeah,
there
and
from-
like condoms and whatever, it was nice. Anyway, we were doing this scene in the garden, and we were, as always, because Midsummer Murders, for those who don't know, it's been going for a long time, so it's quite a well-oiled machine. But the problem with it is, it's become a bit. I felt it was almost a bit relaxed, and I was surprised by that because it's an institution.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not this, but it's like Doctor Who in as much as it's been around for
Yeah.
ages. And it's like, a lot of big stars go on that show. Anyway, we're shooting this thing, and it's in this back garden. It's in a very fancy manor house kind of place. And we'd already been a bit sick because people start gardening. It's always shot during the summer, so there's lots of gardening going on. There's lots of planes going overhead. And so we're all getting a bit sick and tired of trying to shut up noise. We're doing this scene, and what would happen was these boats would go by. Some would be engine boats, some would be rowboats, but they'd always make a bit of noise.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd hired a boat because it would just happen that there was this boat that was going to be used in the scene. It was, I forget the name of it, but it's like a boat you can stay on. What's it called? Like a barge thing.
Yeah, I know what you're
on about. Like a long...
Loads in Camden.
Yeah. And we hired one. And the guy in there was like a boat for hire. So he didn't really understand how films work. So he'd been clattering around. So we had to constantly turn around and go, shut up, stop moving that, stop clattering the plate, stop. And he was, Anyway, I'm doing this bit. I'm pacing up and down. Scene's going on. It's a long take. And I hear the engine start on this thing, or this like clattering engine sound. I turn around, and because I'm so sick of it, I turn around and I go really quiet, rudely, like that, because that's the main thing you do as a third AD. By the way, if you're good at shushing people, you're a third AD. Shut up! We're filming. We're rolling. That's the main one. Is we're rolling. Which is funny enough, because that is an antiquated sign for film rolling.
Yeah.
But anyway, you do that.
That just means just fucking get it. Just understand.
And I turn around and I do the and I realise about 6 feet in front of me is Russell Brand. And he's there in a barge boat, and he's like, oh! And he's doing the whole, like, he's Russell Brand, right? So he's doing the whole proper, like, he has no jurisdiction. So he just wanders on set. And he's like, oh yeah, he was like, and he was very interested in the fact that Midsommar, he'd heard, because they'd all had flyers, all the locals had flyers through the door that that Midsommar Murders is being shot. So Russell Brand had one, and I don't think he meant it, but he just wandered on. Like I don't think he sought us out. I think he just happened, like, oh, I'm here and there they are, sort of thing. So he wandered on set, totally interested in it, and then it became the Russell Brand show. But what was amazing, and this is the kind of coincidence that is genuinely quite impressive, beyond just me meeting him, was earlier that year, in fact, about a week before, maybe half a week even, there was a big news story about a West Ham fan called Knowlesy, who was trending on Twitter for a time, and he was big in the news, and he was a West Ham supporter who, I can't remember the away team, but he went to an away game where West Ham supporters were attacked by foreign fans or away fans, and he had famously protected them from the family stand was the one that was attacked, and he famously kind of like battered away and defended innocent women and children basically from these attacking yobs. So he was famous for that, and Russell Brand had mentioned it on his podcast, glorifying and saying it was a great thing, and it was Knowlesy he was a gaffer for Midsommar Murders.
Oh wow, okay.
So he actually worked on the set, and it was really funny because I'd only been on the show a couple of weeks by that point, and I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw him trending on Twitter, and I was like, I recognise him, and I was like, oh my god, that's Knowlesy from. So I go, oh my god, what are the chances? Anyway, he turns up the day later with a black eye because he's been fighting, and everyone, he's a hero basically. He's considered a hero. Anyway, Russell Brand, who is by all reports a big West Ham fan, turns up. So for him, it's like, not only have I just found Midsommar Murders, I've found this internet sensation who just happens to be, like, for him that must be so weird.
Yeah.
That not only has he seen Midsommar Murders Next Door, he's now seen Knowlesy, who he's praising on his own podcast like a week before, or a few days before. He's there in front of him. So he bowls straight up to him, they get a picture, and he's basically obsessed, of course. And like, yeah, he's getting pictures with a lot of people. But what was funny was when he first interacted with me, it went like this. I went shushed him in the face. And he went, oh, sorry, like that. It was like a very big sorry sort of thing. And he actually quotes, you can probably watch what he says, his version of it. Where
I've got the clip. We're going to play
the clip. Yeah. So he goes, get the third AD and all that stuff. Get the director, get the first.
Yeah. Should we watch
play
it?
The clip. Do you want to watch it? Because actually he explains it better.
Here we go. So, let's see. I've got it right here.
You're like Jamie from the Joe Rogan show.
I've got it.
That's amazing.
I've got it lined up. I knew we were talking about
this.
For the rest of the show, you have to watch that on Rumble if you listen to this as a podcast. Anyway,
So you saw that Midsummer Murders were being filmed,
a couple of gardens along.
and you thought to yourself,
And my children. I thought to myself and I thought to my
I
children.
bet you thought, hang on a second,
Yeah.
guest appearance in Neighbours, guest appearance in Midsummer Murders, more like.
Yeah. And I thought, I'll get a guest appearance out of this. And also,
Just very quickly, the funny thing was, our producer, Ian,
Yeah.
he was like... He's an old Scottish dude, and I think he thought, I hate Russell Brand, but it would be good to get Russell.
Was he in the
back."
episode? Is he in the episode?
No, he's not. No, but like, no, he's not going to be in it. I don't think. Who knows? But I remember there was this thing where he was like, yeah, he was like desperate to get him. I think in recent events now, I think we're all aware of what the recent events are. I don't think it's going to be good for viewing figures. Oh, maybe it would be good for viewing figures now. Good news is, or what is it? Well, they say bad press is always good press. I don't know.
No press is bad.
No press is bad press. I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to be invited on, but at the time, it might have been good. Yeah.
also, I can do what I like. Like, you can't stop me doing what I like.
Right.
So I went by boat to the end of the garden.
Yeah.
And I was like, woo! And like someone went, shh.
That's me.
It's so important. Shh, it's important what we're doing here. Right. And I was like, I goes, what are you? You first AD to this kid?
Nice.
Let them know I know the nomenclature.
Sure.
I know the lingo.
Why
son.
did you think they were first AD?
I didn't think that they
You
was
just
the
thought-
first AD. I thought it was time to say a bit of language
Got
that
it.
separated me from the sort of person that can be.
It did in a way.
What is this, 4x4?
I was
or
impressed.
16x9?
What's shooting out, mate? 4K. Oh, it's good there. Oh, no. You've made a mistake there, mate. This is murder plot.
Should have done it in black and white.
That's how I make all my films. Mate, black and white these days more classy, do you know what I mean? Seventh Seal, it's my favourite. What's this, Bergman? Karasaki, this is it. Right, so I go, you first AD? He goes, third. I goes, go and get the first AD. Go and get the first. I ain't even talking to you, mate. Anyway, so the first AD comes over. A few people recognise me. It starts.
What's funny about this? That's sort of true, but he wasn't as rude. He's comedically saying, "Get there."
I think he's having a go.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think
think
he's trying to start
charity
something.
match?
I think right now you should address him.
Russell,
Uh-huh.
you've got a lot to prove. I've got everything to prove.
Yeah, you're looking rather tough in this clip, Russell.
Oh yeah, look, and as do I. Look, I've got a chain and everything, right? I'm not fucking around. No, but here's the thing. He's comedically. It was a bit. It wasn't as rude as that. But yeah, anyway, it was like go get a first AD. I was like okay, and then we had who was I can't remember the first AD. It might have been it might have been. Oh, I can't remember. Well, I can't remember who the first AD was, but I remember then it was like, oh, this is a bigger me problem, because it's very hard. It's hard enough to deal with the public, who are normally quite respectful. You go, we're shooting Midsummer Murders, and they go, no way, oh wicked, and then I'll go. But because it's him, he wants to get on.
Yeah.
So that was it.
That's a kind of a cool interaction though, to meet Russell
Yeah.
Brand and then. I mean, you shouldn't really brag about that too much. I don't care really.
There's a lot of surrealism with that because, first of all, for him meeting Knowlesy, who was very interested, he got a picture of him. In fact, mate, put that on the podcast. I'll get the picture of where he met Knowlesy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it might even be brought up on the podcast.
Should I try and find it?
It will be on the podcast. I think he shows the picture of it.
Or find the picture. The picture is here. If I didn't find the picture, I don't know what you're looking at right now.
Yeah, but he goes on to explain that in that clip.
Mhm.
Well, so definitely put that on. But then that's surreal. Then it's surreal that he's in somewhere, and you're in a place. And he's in a
He's in
place.
Redacted.
Yeah, and then you meet him, and then he sort of remembers it because I think it's memorable for him, not because of me, because of Knowlesy.
Mm.
That's the yeah.
Small world.
It's a very small world. Anyway, I don't know if it's highlight of the year, but it was like I'm not trying to be like it's not highlight of the year. It's cool to see him and everything, but there was a few kind of celebrity interactions through that show that were very cool.
Mm.
I think that was definitely one of the most rewarding by
Yeah,
chance.
it's a cool
yeah.
interaction to have throughout the year.
I think so, yeah. And I
Yeah.
know stuff's happened since. Who knows what the jury's out on that? But the thing is, that at the time was very cool. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I
Very
think
happy
that's
with that.
real cool.
Yeah,
real
yeah.
cool.
That's definitely a highlight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And in fact, just working on Midsummer Murders in general is very cool. Like I only used to watch that when I was a kid.
You used to watch Midsummer Murders when you were
I
a
did,
kid.
yeah. It was like, yeah, I did. No, not regularly, but like it was. If it's on, I used to watch it, and I used to think it was quite like. I must have been about 10.
I used to watch Beyblade.
Beyblade. Oh well,
Beyblade.
there you go. So yeah, it's very similar.
Different tastes.
But do you know what I mean? It's like, but the thing is, it was one of them. It's a bit. In fact, I think I can pinpoint it. It was.
Uh-huh.
I think it was around the time The Simpsons used to be on, either before and or after.
Oh, really? I
It was about
don't
that sort of
remember
thing.
always remember it used to go Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That was
into The
always used to
Simpsons.
watch that. Fresh Prince, and then it was that's what I mean. So like you would watch Prince of Bel-Air and you would enjoy it, but you'd be like, yeah, but Simpsons, and then the Simpsons would come on, and then afterwards would be Midsomer Murders. It was kind of like that. Anyway, got a chance to work on it. It was great.
That is cool.
I loved it. Highlight of the year, definitely. What's gone on with you then?
With my highlight of the year, I almost got arrested in Dubai.
Oh yeah,
That was interesting.
It's the pufferfish you tried to smuggle in. Isn't it?
It was
The exotic
the
pufferfish.
15 kilograms of cocaine.
Oh, in the pufferfish. Yeah. That's why they're all puffed up.
No, I almost got taken down. I didn't really, but for taking a picture. I took a picture.
Yeah.
That's all I
Hang on,
did.
Is this a highlight for you?
Well, I mean, it's
I
definitely
mean, it's
a
an
story.
anecdote-wise.
I don't
maybe,
know.
Yeah.
What do you think my highlight of the year is?
Well,
What have I-
anecdote-wise, that's pretty cool.
Anecdote is, oh mate, it was scary though.
Mm.
It was so scary. So, right, I'll try and give like the condensed version of it. But I was in Dubai training some team, and
For the place.
the place for Redacted.
Hmm.
I took my camera out there. So at the end of training, we decide with all of them in their uniform, we'll go down to the main area where the big building is, and we'll take
Yeah.
a picture outside there.
The Khalifa building, is it? The
Yeah, I
with-
think
with
so,
the
I
Burj
think so.
Khalifa? Yeah.
So we all head down, and while we're down there, I see a proposal happening.
Mm.
So I think I'll take a picture of that. I took a picture, went over to them, and said, "Look, I saw you proposing.
Mm.
Absolutely wonderful. I took a picture. Can I send this to you?" And they went, "Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much." And as I start coming back, some guy in security comes over to me, and he's like, "You can't do that."
Mm.
I'm like, "Do what?" He's like, "You're not allowed to do like advertisement here." I was like, "No, I don't know them. I just took a picture." I tried to explain it to him, and then he walks over to them. So we think, right, okay, well, let's get this picture, and then we'll get out there. So I take a picture of the team, all outside, but the problem is they are all in their staff uniforms.
Yeah.
So I take the picture, and then he comes straight over to me again, and he starts going, "You're advertising." I'm like, "We're not advertising. We're just trying to take..."
Because of the logos.
Because of the logos.
Right.
We're just trying to take a picture of the team.
Yeah.
He starts getting really aggressive immediately. He's like, this isn't just for the team. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Starts asking loads of questions. And then one of the managers grabs me to try and take control of the situation, goes, "Look, he's just my friend. He's going home tomorrow. It's no big deal."
Yeah.
No, none of this is true. I'm working in the building that we're literally outside of. So I'm now like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going home tomorrow. I'm not. I'm there for another week. So then he calls
empty,
down.
isn't it, what
Yeah,
you're saying?
then he calls down more security. And suddenly there's about 5 people around us,
Mm.
and we all get split up.
Is it or is it just...
It's, no, just big guys. They're
Yeah,
big guys.
yeah.
Big guys. But they split us all up. And he starts going, "Why are you taking pictures? What are you taking pictures of?" So I'm like, "Look, I just came down to visit my friend, just got a picture of them all." And to be fair, it could look like advertising. I'll give them that. But I was saying, I'll just delete the picture. I'll delete the picture. I don't care that much about it. I'll delete it. We'll move on. Nothing. But he starts questioning me. He starts going like, in their accent as well. He's in my face. He's going like, "Who do you work for? Why are you here? Why are you in the country? What do you What do you want?"
Terrifying.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
terrifying. Like, he's pointing at me in my fucking face.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "What do you want in our country? Who are you with? Who are you to these companies? Who are you?" And I'm like, oh, I'm going home tomorrow. And at the same time, I'm trying to stick to this lie of I'm going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thinking, fuck, he's questioning. All right, do you ever have one of these situations where you're like, this is fine, and then you have this moment where your bollocks shrivel up and you go, I think I'm going to jail here. Like, I think I'm in trouble.
I might never go home.
I'm in
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
trouble here. He starts, mate, we got interrogated for maybe about 30 minutes. He took pictures he was asking for my ID,
Yeah.
my passport. He was trying to ask which hotel I was staying at,
Oh, Jesus.
my flight information, everything. Luckily, I managed to worm my way around it.
But the problem is, because it's abroad, you don't know what your rights are.
No, I have no
That's the
idea. I have
problem.
no
It's
idea
like,
what
in
the
this
fuck.
country, you could be like,
So I had to get on the phone to my company.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I here legally? Like,
yeah,
what's the
yeah,
rules?
yeah.
What's the rights? What's
Am I illegal?
Because now, right, the next day I've got to go back and work in the fucking building.
Yeah,
But I start talking to the manager. I'm like, "Man, your police out here is scary." And he's like, "Those weren't police." I was like,
yeah.
"What were they?" And he was like, "They were just mall security." I was like, "They were mall security." What the fuck are your police like?
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
fucking security,
Or they might just be like, people who just want authority when they don't have it. You know what I mean? They might be
Whoa,
arrogant.
Mate, they got it from me.
Yeah, yeah.
I was terrified.
Attitude.
Yeah, that was terrifying. That was definitely an anecdote of the year.
Yeah, anecdote of the year.
Oh man, I was so scared.
If you were in somewhere like Turkey, I think I probably wouldn't. I'll be doing this podcast on my own. Probably.
Man, let me give
Because I imagine like those sort of. It's when you're abroad you feel so vulnerable to authority.
because you have no idea.
You don't know what your
You're at your
rights
comfort
are.
zone. You
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
the
yeah.
laws. You don't know the rules. You
Sometimes
don't know what's allowed.
the language and
and especially Dubai, you know, they're not known for being the most fun, free living spirits.
No, they like their authority, don't they? Yeah.
They are, yeah, pretty mad. Oh,
That's
man.
that is intense. So how was it resolved? Like, did they just leave it and then you
So
never
I
heard
had-
from them again? Or
I had to delete the pictures. I deleted all the pictures, but luckily my camera took 2 SD cards. So ones I'd taken early in the day, I managed to slip out. So I still had
you
most
still got
of them.
That's hilarious.
But
Yeah,
the
there you go.
ones I took there and then, I did delete in front of them.
Nice.
Because I didn't really give a fuck about those pictures. I was like, I just want to go home.
Because what were they claiming? It was private property or something.
It's like
or
private
advertising?
property, and they thought we were using it for profit to advertise for the company, and
Oh, right.
like it was so intense.
I'd have thought though, like where you
Whereas-
were, it would have been the most photographed place in the planet.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But like, mate, if we were in like, you know, the Glades or
Yeah.
or Blue, was it Blue Water?
Blue water is a big
You'd
one.
be like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
off, I'll take whatever picture.
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
give a
would
shit.
be. You'd be
wouldn't
like,
give a
what are
shit.
you talking about? Yeah, yeah.
But these
yeah.
guys, they get right in your face. Who are you? What do you want?
Yeah, yeah. I imagine as well, like as you say, because you don't know the rules. If they tell you to do something,
You
and
do
you,
it.
and you
I'd do
question,
it.
yeah, and you question it and you get it wrong.
Oh man, I was a bitch.
Do you know what I mean?
I was
Yeah.
an
No, I mean,
absolute bitch.
I would be with you because I'd be like, I don't know my rights. I just wouldn't. I mean, you were never expecting to come across that problem.
And you hear all these stories about these people getting locked up in Dubai, like not knowing the rules. It's like, I don't want to. There was that. Oh, there was that girl who ate pork somewhere. She was a live streamer. She ate pork, and now she's in prison in that country. I'll have to try and find what that story. But like,
for instance, though, I mean, like that's a what you. I mean,
Like-
to be fair, like that's a relatively like pork, fair enough in that sort of country. But if you didn't know it, and you
I don't-
didn't,
I don't-
and you didn't know it though.
I don't think it was in Dubai. It was somewhere else. But it was like just as simple as that. And now she's in prison for like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy in North Korea. Was the guy in North Korea got in serious trouble because he there was something where he mocked a statue or something.
Yeah, I would not fuck about in North Korea.
Neither would I. I mean, North Korea, I'm going to stand like this. In
I'm-
North Korea, I'm walking around like this. I'm just not going to touch anything or look at anything. I'm going to look at. Do you know what I mean? But he got in trouble for like taking the piss out of something.
Oh, man.
That's all he did was make a joke,
That's
take a
so
piss,
scary, isn't
and then it was like the embassy had to get involved to get him out of prison. And I
Wow.
don't think they achieved it.
So he's
That's how
still
serious
locked
it was.
away.
He may even be dead. I don't even know. No, he
Mm.
might be in trouble. I don't know, but it was bad enough where you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't. But
Well,
you
man.
didn't do anything that bad. It's bad, isn't it? Yeah.
But like, I made it home, and now I get to sit here on this.
Otherwise, I say I'll be doing it on my own. I'll be going, pocket fluff, just me. There used to be someone.
But here's looking forward to 2024.
Absolutely. Oh, can I just give an honourable mention for this year? I have to.
Okay, go for it.
I got a girlfriend called Rena.
You have got a girlfriend. As a girlfriend, I especially love.
Yeah, I think I should mention that because if I'm going to go highlights for last year, I think if I don't say that, I might be single for 2024. No,
That's all right.
I'm doing it because if I don't say that, it will come back to
She's
bite
a
me.
fucking awesome girlfriend, mate.
Yeah, she counts
should
as
know.
a highlight.
Sorry, that made it sound like I've dated
Definitely
her.
number 2 or 3 in my list.
Well, I've known her since we were 16 years old.
Yeah,
She was.
she's still.
I think we've already mentioned this on the podcast, but your girlfriend has been one of my closest friends since 16.
Yeah,
Oh, she's wonderful.
and now.
So you have managed to get an absolutely
completely
amazing girl
consensual.
there. Yeah,
I didn't have to do any, stalking, nothing.
mate, you've done amazing.
I asked and I got.
You've done a great job getting her.
Makes a change. Human female.
She's essentially doing charity work at this point. But
Yeah, I mean, karma. She needs to build up her karma points, but and she's very charitable.
But yeah, no, there's a good.
I just had to get that in there.
I'm very happy.
yeah.
I'm very happy. All right then.
Nice one.
All right. So, who are you?
But my name is Jack,
And I'm Danny.
and together we have been
The Pocket Fluff Podcast.
Production Podcast. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Well, is this definitely going to be podcast? No production at the end or LTD?
Well, it's a podcast, isn't
Alright.
it? It's a podcast,
Ready?
not production. Production was school.
Oh yeah, it was.
Hmm.
That's it. Productions. Yeah. All right,
Right.
let's do it again.
Okay.
I've been Jack,
And I've been Danny.
and we have been.
The Pocket Fluff Podcast. That is so dumb.
Should we find a better way to sign that out?
We will do.
Otherwise, it's a bit like Teletubbies, isn't it? Yeah, at the end they go, Teletubbies, yeah, bye-bye. Yeah.